Chubb joins us for this week's study tips, and we're talking about concentration. So how do students concentrate, Aaron, and focus and get their work done?
Yeah, that's a big issue that a lot of students approach us with. How do I concentrate with my readings or in class or when I'm studying for my tests? So I think it depends, I guess, first of all, what's the activity that you're doing? In class, we find it helps when students, if you sit as close as you can to the front, there's just going to be less distractions in front of you. You're not able to see other people's laptops or stuff like that. So that tends to help with some students getting close up front. For a lot of students, taking notes certainly helps during class to pay attention, and not necessarily capturing everything, but just writing down some keywords that they can maybe add to later, or some key ideas. If you're doing your readings, having a good reason to do the readings. If the reading was assigned and you don't know really what it's about or why you're doing that reading, you might find that you get several pages through and you haven't picked up anything. If you're writing an essay, you might want to have your topic written down so that you're mining that reading for that to answer those questions you have, or an assignment, or if you have a test coming up, making sure you're searching for what could be asked on the exam. So you have a reason to do the reading. When you're studying for your exams, same thing. What is it that I'm really focusing on here, so that you're not sitting there for an hour without really getting a lot of work done. You sit down knowing that there's these 3 or 4 concepts that I want to learn in the next hour.
Those are really good for an individual working on their own. What about if you're working in a group? How do you keep the group focused and to concentrate? Do you have any tips for that, Aaron?
Yeah, that can certainly be a struggle as well. I mean, it definitely depends. The rest of the group members motivated. That can play a huge role into it. Sometimes you gotta kind of take the reins and get the group going. If you're just simply studying together for an exam, testing each other, getting one person with the textbook, asking the other person questions, or teaching each other, that can be a good way to concentrate and stay on task. And if you're working on a group project, just making sure it's really clear who's working on what and when they're going to get that done by. A lot of times when people get together in, whether it's meetings with a group project or even just committees outside of class or anything like that, things can be decided, but it's not assigned who's doing what. So making sure that that's very clear can help everyone stay on task.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Fallon.
That is this week's Study Tips.